You remember like in January and February when we were like the worst thing we were worried about was fires in Australia. And then all of a sudden the fires in Australia were bad and COVID was bad. And then tornadoes came and then fires out west and then COVID was bad. And then politicians are morons. And then we shut the economy down. And then politicians are morons. And then there was fires out west. And then you remember this year is a dumpster fire? It is, for real. 2020, I am going to celebrate you leaving. I'm having one hellacious New Year's Eve party. But you remember what happened to the stock market in March, April, when the economic suppression was put in place by your politicians? Stock market dove, y'all remember? You remember Ramsey Personalities did 478 media hits in 32 days. 90% of our media hits were Chris Hogan, me, Rachel Cruz, whoever, looking at the camera going, "Don't sell your freaking retirement, it'll come back. It's down temporarily, it'll come back. The only person that gets hard on a roller coaster is those that jump off in the middle of the ride. Ride it, baby. It'll be back." And we actually pulled back up. It broke our new record a few weeks ago, the stock market did, meaning that it recovered completely. It was a record in January, and then it came back in August and set another record. And so it took I think we counted up, I think it was 57 days for it to fully recover. Did you hear any news media doing a story? The American economy is so robust that it completely recovered from the worst economic false shutdown in the history of the world in 57 days. Did you hear that as a headline? Nope, you didn't. Did you see some headlines when it was diving that you were going to die and the world was coming to an end? And you should tune in tonight because there's also going to be a tornado. Did you see those headlines? If it bleeds, it leads, and you people get addicted to fear porn, and you're sucked in by Fox and CNN and your local news. And you sit with your kneecap pressed to the edge of your television, knowing that your world is coming to an end. And never once do they tell you the truth. 57 days later, I believe it was 57, might have been 56, but somewhere right in there, the stock market completely recovered. So with this environment that you and I live in, you have to put some people in your corner with your investments that will look at you very clear-eyed and say, don't make decisions when you're freaked. Don't make decisions when you're drunk. These are two dumb times to make big decisions. Put the wine down and sit down. No, you're not cashing in your retirement. I'll choke you. Because people cashed it in at exactly the bottom, didn't they? How many of us know somebody cashed it in at the bottom? I have friends, and they're freaking friends of Dave Ramsey, who cashed it in at the bottom, and I couldn't stop them from doing it. They were freaked out, and they ran out into the interstate and got run over by an 18-wheeler. You become financial roadkill because you're panicked like a deer. You ever see these squirrel? Squirrel runs out in the road, can't decide which way to go, blum, blum. You make squirrel decisions when you freak out. You get stuck, you get paralyzed by fear, and you do stupid butt stuff, and you need somebody in your corner. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average is approximately $27,000 as I broadcast this particular episode. $27,000, $27,000. And I'm the same guy in 2008 when it went from 13,000 to 6,400 that told you not to cash out then. It went in half that time. This time it didn't go in half. It went from about 28 down to about 19 and then came back in 56 or 57 days. Now, I understand it's scary, but that doesn't mean you step on the gas and let go of the wheel. You have to have, if you hit ice driving down the road at 60 miles an hour, what do? Slam on the brakes? No. This is how you total your car, fool. You let off of everything and just let it roll through, baby. and hold the wheel and hopefully course correct a little bit, but steer into the slide. But I mean, you don't step on the brakes and you don't step on the gas. And there's some common sense aspect to this whole thing. Did you sell your house when houses went down in value? No, because you knew houses would come back. Same thing here. Same thing here. So nobody gets hurt on a roller coaster except those that jump off in the middle. I wish I had told you something different one single time so people could say I was inconsistent and they would be right, but they're wrong. I've told you the exact same thing about investing for 30 years. And by the way, it's what I personally do with investing. My only temptation is, and I don't do it, but my only temptation is when the stock market goes down like it is to invest more. And I don't even do that because I don't believe in market timing. I just invest and invest and invest and invest and invest. And I want to be consistent with who I say that I am. And I don't want to tell you to do something that I don't do with investing. So 100% of the things that I teach you to do with investing, I personally do. And I just got some more zeros on it. But that's it. It's just, so I don't even invest when I'm tempted to. But I mean, think about it. Think about this, okay? If the stock market recovered 30-something% in 57 days, and you had put in $1 million, what would that have turned into? See, that's tempting. That right there is some tempting numbers. And I knew that was coming. I didn't know it was going to be 57 days or 157 days, but I knew it was coming back. And I'm thinking, Dad, gummit. Oh, I don't violate the principles that I live by for greed or for fear. Because when you do, that's when you get stepped on. That's how it works. So get with a SmartVestor Pro, get some people in your corner that calm your butt down so you don't freak out in these weird times that we always are going to have. After COVID, there will be something else. After 2008, there will be something else. After 9/11, there will be something else. After Black Monday 1987, there will be something else. There's always something else.